Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I feel like I'm on the edge of losing everything. I have very much been financially responsible to my best extent, but I find myself in a very difficult career situation, and I'm very afraid of making the wrong step and everything falling apart.
Wow. Where did all of this loss of confidence come from? Actual financial facts or something else?
I think it's something else. I have had a great career, but I have been unemployed now for 8 months.
What is your career? What's your career?
So I work in M&A, and also let's just say IT.
What were you making?
$245,000 a year.
Okay, wow. That doesn't sound like someone that's about to fall off a cliff to me. But then you hadn't had a job for 8 months. Why?
Honestly, it's been a lot of factors. It's been a tough job market, first of all, but part of the reason is that I'm located in Dallas. It's high competition here, but also I have not wanted to move. I've wanted to stay in the Dallas area, so I haven't looked outside of Dallas. And I have 2 teenagers that I'm really struggling not to have to move them and change their schools and all of those things. And so
you're a single mom. How long have you been divorced?
That's correct. I've been divorced over 3 years, about 3.5 years.
Okay. How long were you in that position, the M&A?
My career is about 25 years. I've been at the 345 range now for up until now about 8 years.
Okay.
And what was the cause of the job loss, Stephanie, to begin with?
I was laid off, actually, because the M&A activity went down because the interest rates on companies being able to borrow investment capital shot up. And so I was actually laid off in December from my company. And that's also part of the struggle, is that industry is having some difficulty right now, and it's high competition. A lot of people that have been without work.
Yeah.
Well, there are people doing M&As without borrowing money to do it. You know that, right?
That's correct. And
okay.
I've been trying to find those people.
Well, I mean, they may not be in Dallas, but you've also got the double. Dallas is not oil-driven like Houston is, but it is somewhat oil-driven, and that's hitting that market too. Okay. Wow. How old are the kiddos? What year in high school?
Yeah, so I have a boy that's 14 and a girl that is 12.
Okay. All right.
Are there other areas in the country that are that have more openings than just Dallas?
Yeah, she can get a job.
Yeah, I have started. I mean, that's the thing, is I've started in the last couple of months. I tried for a while to kind of hold on and say, okay, I'm going to try to work this out. And then after about 6 months, I said, oh, yeah, this isn't going to...
What have you been living on during this 8 months?
So for the first 7 months, I did get unemployment.
Oh, okay.
And so I was living off of unemployment and a small amount of child support that I get. So it was $3,500 a month.
What's it take to operate your house?
So my expenses are $2,500.
Okay, so you need $4,000 a month burn rate, $48,000 a year, long way from $250,000.
Yeah, so I've been.
So you got two choices, Stephanie. You're wise enough and you're math oriented with what you do for a living to know that obviously doing nothing is going to burn through any cash you've got, and you're going to reach an end point, and you're going to have some of those fears that are currently irrational, but they'll become real. Fears of losing things. Okay, so you've got to get employment, period. Now, you got two options. One is take the same skill set that you're using, because obviously you're an analyst, okay? You know how to run analysis on financial products and so forth, and that skill set applies to a lot of things in addition to mergers and acquisitions, okay? So you can land a job making $100. If you want to camp out in Dallas till those kiddos finish up their little high school careers and you just make less, and that's okay. Meanwhile, maybe you keep looking in Dallas, or the kiddos are moving because mom's going to make $300 in Charlotte or Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's okay. They're honey, they're going to be okay. They're pretty resilient little characters. And, their life is...
But even 150 in Dallas would be good.
Anything you could land with for survival. So I think you probably... I think you've been staying right in the M&A lane, and I want you to step out of that lane and go for a broader swath in your look and in your thought pattern on what you're going to take, and then decide, am I going to settle for something less using this same skill set for the next 5 years?
Yeah.
And finish these high schoolers up. Is it worth that to me? Because basically you're saying it's going to cost you $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year. So in order for these high schoolers to stay put, you're willing to give up $600,000.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm moving a high schooler's butt. Okay.
I was like, I'm staying with my other friends.
Yeah. No, not for $600K.
But if you're in a good position, though, that's the thing is to run your household is $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's a total choice of values at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, it really is.
You can do whatever you want to do, but teenagers survive far worse things than moving.
I agree.
And
but my thing is, if it's something that, like, obviously, if she was not going to be making enough, if she was making 60. And she's like, I can't even find that. You know what I mean? Like, then that's one thing. I get it. But you're totally fine making 150, more than fine in her position.
But here's what I'm hearing, okay?
If you
this
invested
lady lived her
the
life,
extra...
She lived her life for her husband and her kids. The husband dumped her. Now she's living her life for her kids. And her confidence is eroding, and yet she is an amazing lady. And I want her to be who she's supposed to be. And that's good for her kids.
That's fair.
That's good for her kids. If she steps into who she is,
I agree.
That's good for her kids.
I agree.
If they do it in Charlotte or Atlanta, that's not a bad thing. Kiddos, they're okay.
Yes.
Ask people who grew up with a mom or dad in the military. They live in a different high school every month, and they did just fine.
I know. I'm not saying that they're not resilient. I'm just saying she's in a really blessed position to have those two options.
Agree.
Of what we're talking about. So
hang on the line. I'm going to send you Ken's 2 books, Paycheck to Purpose and Proximity Principle. That'll give you some reading. And I want you to get yourself back out there, kiddo. You need to land something. It's been too long. Now, go get something. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.